Okay, guys, my name is SK, and I welcome you once again to S.K.M Media 7. You know, it's very, very, very sad, and should I say, it's very stupid for people to, think in this 21st century that Africans are still living on trees. We don't have houses, we don't have buildings, we don't have anything.
Bro, Africa got buildings. They got power. Not yet. They got towers. Swear on everything, bro. I thought it was just clay and tribes and tents, bro. Yeah, cause the ground be like, like that red orange type of clay, bro. Chat, don't act like I'm.
Yo, so I'm kind of confused. Like, IShowSpeed is in Africa, and like, how? Like, they have Wi-Fi. I never knew that. And like, they have cars, houses. Like, shit's crazy. I never knew that.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Seeing the IShowSpeed Africa tour, that shit is making me want to go to Africa, bro. When Speed was in Europe, they was calling him monkey. They was throwing him bananas and shit. They was saying all type of racist shit when he was in the Europe tour. He pop up in Africa and then people showing him love like he's family already, bro. The propaganda is failing. It is crumbling before our very eyes. And then they want to call Africa uncivilized, bitch. I'm seeing.
Touring Africa and the videos that or the countries that he went to Botswana, South Africa, and other Africa countries. And you know, for them, they have the masses that follow them. So because of that, a lot of people, those that don't know how Africa is, most of them has discovered that the narrative that or the things that they show to them how Africa looks like, it is not how it is. And because of that, a lot of people, most of the diasporans and even the white people, some of them are even, shocked of what they are seeing in Africa, how Speed is being, uh, how they receive him. He doesn't get those, reactions when he goes to, other Asia countries and, in Europe. He doesn't get those things. And because of that, now most of the Americans, the diaspora, and the blacks in America, a lot of people are reacting to the video that they are seeing, how Speed is being received in Africa. And most of them wanted to, relocate and come back to Africa, the continent, because what they are showing to them, they are still telling them Africa is like this. They don't have houses, they don't have buildings, they don't have Wi-Fi, and it's very, very crazy, for people to still think this 21st century. There are a lot of things that we Africans have that the Europeans don't have. You understand? We eat good food, we eat healthy food. We don't forsake anyhow because the food we eat is medicinal to us. So I'm calling on all the black Americans, the diaspora, those that wanted to relocate to Africa, the continent. I'm calling on you to, come back. And I want you to, watch this video, how some of them are crying, how some of them are crying. They were not expecting to, they never knew that this is how Africa is. The people that they are telling them Africa is like this, Africa is no good, Africa, when you come to Africa, there are animals over there. These same people are the one investing, doing business, have companies, and so on and so forth over here. But when they go there, they are telling the people over there, Africa is like this, Africa is no good. Guys, what do you also think about this? It's time for the diaspora, the Africans, to come back home, to come and invest, for them to, leave those pressure that they are being given to them over there. Watch the full video and tell me what you also think under the comment
Bro, Africa
section.
got buildings. They got power. Not yet. They got towers. Swear on everything, bro. I thought it was just clay and tribes and tents, bro. Yeah, cause the ground be like, like that red orange type of clay, bro. Chat, don't act
Yo,
like
so I'm kind of confused. Like, IShowSpeed is in Africa, and like, How? Like they have Wi-Fi. I never knew that. And like they have cars, houses. Like shit's crazy. I never knew that.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Seeing the IShowSpeed Africa tour, that shit is making me want to go to Africa, bro. When Speed was in Europe, they was calling him monkey. They was throwing him bananas and shit. They was saying all type of racist shit when he was in the Europe tour. He pop up in Africa and then people showing him love like he's family already, bro. The propaganda is failing. It is crumbling before our very eyes. And then they want to call Africa uncivilized, bitch.
Man, this whole time, bro, they made us think Africa was such a poor country, bro. Such a place you wouldn't want to be at, bro. And Speed is single-handedly changing my perspective on life. Every single aspect of Africa just makes my insides feel so good, bro. The American dream is the trap. Everybody else is free, but not free from America. America's the problem, bro.
An African celebrity treated that way by Black Americans here in America. That's how we treat people in Africa. IShowSpeed is getting nothing but love. Nobody's calling him any name. Nobody's saying anything about him. He's just having a good time. He's enjoying himself because he's home. IShowSpeed is single-handedly destroying centuries of negative propaganda done on Africa.
Let me tell you something. Speed's Africa streams, they hit differently, fam. Way better than his streams anywhere else, especially in Europe. I'm noticing it. And I gotta ask, are you noticing too? Because it's all love over there. The vibes, pure good energy, no drama, no crazy names being yelled at him. Just people vibing, doing his catchphrases, embarking with him like it's a whole movement. And hold up, he even met the president of Angola. You know, he's out here living, doing races, and it's all good times. Honestly, this is the energy we need everywhere. But here's the thing. Why are the people in Africa treating Speed so much better than in some other places? Especially Eastern Europe, where it's not always the same vibe. Could it be that people have been misrepresenting Africa for years? Maybe they don't really know the place. I'm just saying, I'm noticing a difference. Africa's showing up, and it's a whole nother level of love and respect. That's what.
Bro, every street we go by, you hear IShowSpeed. Like, I'm not even trolling. Like, right here. That's crazy. Right here. Every street. Another street. Every street. Literally every street. Another one. Bro, every street, chat. That's crazy.
People are very, very upset that IShowSpeed in his Africa tour, he went to Cape Town and shook the hand of the mayor, which just so happened to be a white guy. And of course, that sent people in America crazy. That for Americans, that's like, what? They could not believe that in 2025, big 2020, in 2026 now, we're gonna have to get used to saying 2026. In 2026, there is a Caucasian male running as mayor in Cape Town in South Africa. And they were so upset with Speed in the comments. They were really flipping. I am not even joking. People were actually mad. Speed shouldn't even shook his hand. He shouldn't even shook his hand. Speed shouldn't even shook his hand, they're saying. His name is Gordon Hill Lewis, and I hear that the people in Cape Town, the people in South Africa love this guy. They say that he's done more than any other person in South Africa. They actually love him there. I don't think they have a problem with how he looks at all. Congratulations to Speed on a very successful trip to Africa, and this guy actually looks like a good person, very good person.
Y'all probably wondering why I'm crying. I've been watching Speed streams, and I'm seeing all the love that he's getting in Angola. He's in South Africa, and he's getting massive amount of love. And the way that he was treated in Europe was disgusting. But to see him be a black man from the United States of African descent and be able to go back to the continent and be treated like a human by civilized African people, when we've been taught that Africa is primitive, that it's dangerous, don't go back. They have this, they have that. They don't want you, they don't like you. And to see an African American man with his stature go back to the motherland and be treated with so much respect. This is what our people fought for. This is what they fought for when they fought against Jim Crow and segregation. This is what the slave revolts were about. This is what it's always been about. Is to be able to go back home to a home that you've never been and be unapologetically black and not have to think about being black. Just being able to have your natural hair and your brown skin and not be judged and not be racially profiled and not be killed. I love the love that he is getting. And I love the love that all of my African American people are getting in the continent. And I know there's a lot of issues. I know there's a lot of things that need to be worked out. But I'm so proud. I'm so proud. And I love that for him. And I love that for all of my people that are over there. And I can't wait to hit the soil and experience it myself.